flaky on the inside with a nice crisp edge wrapped into a really great base of ginger and spring onion. This is ginger and spring onion fish, air fried. Welcome back to Wok Wednesdays. I'm Jeremy from School Wok here in Covent Garden, and this week the video is very kindly sponsored by Instant Brands. We're using their single drawer air fryer here to show you how easy it is to fry fish at home with a machine like this. Whilst I'm showing you how easy the actual recipe is to make, I've got some rice steaming away in my Instant Pot behind me. Steamed rice, ginger and spring onion fish, what's not to love? First up, and it doesn't take long, I'm going to set my air fryer to preheat to 200 degrees C, and I'm actually going to fry this fish for about 5 or 6 minutes, 6 minutes maximum for a first fry, and that high heat will seal the outside of these pieces of fish so that the inside stays nice and flaky and keeps all the moisture inside. I've got some cod fillet here, and you can use any type of nice sort of meaty and flaky white fish with this. Salt, pepper. Using this fryer makes it really easy, but also you don't get any smells like you do if you're sort of deep frying fish or pan frying fish the classic way on the hob. Some sesame oil, and then we're just going to give that a little mix around. I want the flavour of the actual fish itself to be quite natural and light. Now I've got some egg white here. You could use a whole egg, but I quite like even the batter to be as light as possible. The texture of the fish doesn't get sort of overpowered by the batter or a thick batter. And then I've got some seasoned corn flour here to wrap lightly around those pieces of fish and just go gently with the fingertips so that you don't break up any of that flesh. And that is ready. Now to fry this nicely, I found that when using an air fryer, if you want a really nice sort of crisp finish to whatever you're cooking, you want to oil the base, and then a double fry works really well. With this fish, I'd cook it ever so slightly longer than if you were frying your fish, mainly because air frying has got this sort of this airflow technology. It's almost like halfway between frying in a pan and using an oven. Next little tip when you're air frying anything like this is just to make sure that each piece has enough space, a little bit of space in between themselves. And then you want to spray generously with your oil spray so it gets a nice crisp edge all the way around. Telling me to close basket. That's going to cook 6 minutes on the first fry. Whilst that's on its first fry, got plenty of time to make up a quick sauce. I've got some oyster sauce here, and this is like classic Cantonese cooking. Small amount of light soy, and then some Shaoxing rice wine. I've also got a little bit of sugar. Us Chinese, we believe that everything we cook has its own sweetness, so you're just trying to accentuate that sweetness. And then you just want to finely slice a whole load of ginger and roughly chop some spring onion. So in that first fry, that's 6 minutes, your fish pretty much perfectly cooked already. What I'm doing now is just going to spray it one more time. So just bring them out, turn them once, give them another spray of oil, and then back in for a second fry, just for 3 minutes, again, 200 degrees C. Extra 3 minutes, it's just crisped up each piece of fish really nicely around the edge. Ready to finish off with a quick stir fry. The rest of this is easy. Most importantly, you don't want the fish sort of swimming in the sauce for too long because it's already cooked, and you want to make sure that those sort of lovely sort of pieces of fish don't all break apart. My ginger and spring onion go in first on a really high heat in the wok, and you want to sear this until the ginger just starts to sort of crisp around the edges. So you want your slices of ginger to be quite big and prominent. You want to be able to see it. This takes about 1 to 2 minutes. Now my ginger is browning. I'm going to pour my mix of oyster sauce and light soy, rice wine, sugar into there. Allow it to bubble up and bring all that sort of flavour off the bottom of the wok of that ginger and spring onion, and then your chicken stock. I want this to be relatively saucy, so let that all go in and then bring that to a boil. Now this is interesting. My fish has a crisp edge from being air fried, but I don't want it to feel like it's a deep fried fish. That corn flour around the edge of my fish is there to kind of almost hold it all together and seep into the sauce to create this lovely silky texture in the sauce. Once my sauce is boiling all the way through, I'll add my fish. The last bits of fish in, and you can see that corn flour kind of working its way through into the sauce. As I say, you don't want to move it around your wok too much at this point. And if you do need to get every piece into the sauce, just go from underneath rather than sort of chopping into your fillets of fish. And I'd say that sauce is at a good texture. That's done. Even when you're serving this dish up, just go carefully. Get your nice chunks of fish onto the plate from underneath. Pour the rest of the sauce over the top. So thanks to Instabrands for making stir-fried fish that much easier. You still get a light crunch around the edge of the fish, but you know what? This dish is really light and tasty, packed full of flavour. And most of the flavour really sort of stands out from the fish fillet itself. Simple, air fry cooking, showing you guys how to use the air fryer to get the best out of your food.